What is going on, Rhymestyle? And today I got a pretty fun Dragon Ball Z discussion for you guys. As you can see from the title of this video, today we're going to be discussing Immortality, and specifically how it would have affected the outcome on a battle on Planet Namek against Frieza had Vegeta achieved his wish. Now, before I start, I do want to say at any point, feel free to jump in with your own feedback, opinions, and comments, whatever, in the comment section below, because whenever you guys do that, these debates and discussions become a whole lot more fun, so I highly encourage that you guys jump in and join and have some fun with all of us. Now we got that out of the way, let's just jump right into it by defining what immortality actually is. Immortality, what is it? Well, pretty simple. Immortality means you are immortal, you cannot die, you live forever. There's two forms of immortality that we've seen in the Dragon Ball, three technically. Two forms, main forms that we've seen in the Dragon Ball Z series. One is eternal life, which basically means you'll live forever. Excuse me. The other one is true immortality, which is achieved from the Dragon Balls. I will cover what both of these actually are in a couple seconds, but first let's talk about how you can actually obtain eternal life and live forever in the Dragon Ball world. The first and most popular way, of course, is the Dragon Balls. You collect all 7 Dragon Balls, you make a wish, you say, hey, I want to be immortal, make me immortal, dragon. You will live forever and you will not die no matter what. We've only seen one character truly achieve this ability, and that was Garlic Jr. And technically it doesn't really count because he is not a canon character, and that was just a filler story added to the Dragon Ball Z series. But of course, what we've seen in that series slash saga slash arc, when Garlic Jr. became immortal, he was actually immortal. You could not kill him. He was just able to revive and regenerate whenever he got hit with a heart attack, and he was pretty much OP at that stage. But his only flaw was he wasn't that strong, which is what we're going to discuss later in this video. The next way to achieve immortality is by drinking the Immortality Elixir, which we've seen, I believe only one character drank it in the series, but I could be wrong. And that character, of course, is Master Roshi. Now, his form of immortality is more of an eternal life rather than immortality, and this is what I was telling you about in the beginning of the video. His form of immortality means he can just live forever without worrying about his body slowing down and, like, you know, just dying of old age. The thing that Master Roshi can still die of is getting blown up, getting nuked, getting shot. If, you know, the Earth explodes, he will die. If he gets shot and for some reason doesn't block it, he will die. The only thing that the Immortality Elixir does is just, it basically gets rid of natural ways of death. So I believe diseases as well, definitely old age and things like that. The next way of achieving immortality in the Dragon Ball world is the Immortality Phoenix, which we never actually witnessed. Master Roshi mentioned this before in the Dragon Ball series when he tried to give immortality to Goku, and it was through the Phoenix. And apparently he had this Phoenix pet that ended up dying, ironically, which is weird because it's the immortal Phoenix that died through eating tainted bird seeds or whatever. But apparently this Phoenix could give people eternal life, which is weird. Why didn't Master Roshi just get eternal life from that bird instead of drinking the water? Whatever. He tried to give that to Goku, but instead he gave Goku the Flying Nimbus as a present instead. We've never actually seen the Immortal Phoenix. We just know this was mentioned in the Dragon Ball world. Now, the fourth and final way of becoming immortal, and this is kind of cheating, is becoming an android, which we've seen with Dr. Gero, 19, 17, 18, 16, and Cell. As long as you don't get destroyed, you can live forever on your magical batteries that Dr. Gero invented. So those are the 4 methods of becoming immortal in the Dragon Ball world. Now, as I said, only a few characters have truly achieved immortality in the series, and really only one group of characters achieved it in the canon story. And of course I speak about the androids because they were humans who were turned into androids and basically had these batteries that live forever. They could literally go on forever, but the flaw was, which we've seen in the series, was that they could be destroyed. They're very, very powerful, but they could be destroyed. And of course we've seen Trunks destroy them some later, many years in this timeline. And of course we saw, well, we didn't see 18 and 17 die in our timeline, in the real timeline, because they obviously became good. But the flaw was they could get destroyed if someone was strong enough. So really, nobody achieved immortality outside of Garlic Jr., which was a movie filler story side of Dragon Ball Z. So those are basically the only people who achieved immortality. But we did see a bunch of people pursue it. Some famous examples include Vegeta, Frieza. Who else achieved it? I don't remember. There's many people who try to go for immortality. I believe in Dragon Ball as well. But the most popular ones are definitely Frieza and Vegeta, who try to go after it. And after the Frieza saga, it was really never brought up that much because pretty much anybody after the Frieza saga was too OP and didn't have to worry about immortality, which we're going to discuss in the third part of this video. Which I guess we're going to start now, because I kind of got the immortality discussion part out of the way. So at any point, anything that's said about immortality, feel free to respond in the comment section below with your own opinions, feedback, or maybe I was wrong about something. Feel free to correct me in the comment section below. Now, what would have happened if Vegeta achieved immortality on Planet Namek? That is a big freaking question. Now, we all know that the main reason why Vegeta wanted to become immortal was so he can fight Frieza. And at the same time, Frieza wanted to be immortal because he had his own reasons that he was probably afraid of dying. Specifically to the Saiyans, which is why he blew up Planet Vegeta. He basically wanted to make sure that he lived forever, which is why he wanted it. Whereas Vegeta wanted it because he wanted to basically put an end to Frieza, because there's no other way that you could see him beat him other than becoming a Super Saiyan. At the same time, he probably just didn't believe enough of himself that he could be a Super Saiyan, which is why he wanted to basically cheat so he can destroy Frieza. But the question is how effective, we're finally at this part of the video, how effective would Vegeta becoming immortal have been? Well, the answer is not very effective at all. The problem is when you become immortal, you don't actually become stronger. All immortality does is make it so you can't die. So the problem is, at the time, Vegeta's base power level, or I guess max power level, was nowhere close to Frieza's. We know that Frieza's max power level in the Frieza saga was 150 million. And Vegeta's max power level was not even close to 3, and 3 million was basically Goku's base power level. So we know that Vegeta was nowhere close to Goku's base power level, which means, had he become immortal, he still would have not been strong enough to defeat Frieza. Now, of course, you can argue that he can keep trying, he can, like, escape and train his way into becoming stronger. Yes, he could have done that, but, at the same time, what Frieza could have done is he could have easily imprisoned the young prince and just basically kept him in isolation forever. If Vegeta's not training, if he's not fighting, if he's not getting hurt, he's not going to get stronger. So therefore, he'll be isolated forever and ever and ever, which would have been a problem. I mean, think about it. If Vegeta only has so much power, there's no way he could have even generated, even by tapping his entire freaking existence to an attack, to even hurt Frieza. So it would have been actually a waste of a wish, which is kind of weird, because I don't know if Vegeta ever thought about that before wanting to become immortal. It's like, did he just assume that he would have gained enough power to be able to kill Frieza, or what? But it turns out, at least this is what I believe, because I know becoming immortal only increases your lifespan. It doesn't actually make you stronger. Becoming immortal would have been a huge mistake for Vegeta. Now, of course, Frieza could have probably screwed up, let him escape. Vegeta could have gone off the train or something, or maybe he could have even been tortured for the next couple of years or eternity or whatever, and become strong enough to actually kill Frieza later. But I'm pretty sure that Frieza would have been smart and realized at one point, as long as I isolate the Saiyan, he cannot kill me. And that's what I believe would have been the outcome in the end. Like, essentially, it would have been eternal torture for Vegeta. He would have just been chained up with some kind of magical device. Maybe even Frieza would just, like, bear hug him the entire life of his existence of his life, or something, to the point where he would have assured that Vegeta cannot get stronger, he does not get hurt, so he doesn't get that Zenkai boost. He basically just stays in one spot, forever, tortured, reminding himself, I made this wish, I'm a jackass, holy crap, how am I going to destroy Frieza? I won't. So it would have been actually an eternal, like, prison for him. It would have been literally hell. Like, this would have been Vegeta's hell had he achieved immortality. Now, of course, if you flip the question over and ask, what if Frieza achieved it? It would have been pretty bad. Now, it's the same thing. It's like, even though, wait, I'm sorry. Earlier at the video, I said Frieza's power level was 150 million. I'm at 120 million. 150 million was Goku. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people commented, hey, the power level's wrong, Rhymestyle. I'm sorry. I was actually confused now to think about it. Of course, if Frieza achieved immortality, Goku would have been in trouble. And the main reason why is because Goku would get tired. Like, at that point, they were still, even though Goku was stronger than Frieza, he was not that much stronger than him. And at one point, he would have gotten too tired to fight against Frieza. His power would have dropped, and Frieza could have killed Goku if he was immortal. So obviously, if Frieza became immortal, it would have been a better advantage to him. But the only reason why it would not work out for Vegeta is because Vegeta's power was just nowhere near close enough to the point where he could hurt Frieza or tire him out to the point where he could destroy him with an attack and take revenge for his people. So again, that's what I believe would have happened had Vegeta achieved immortality on Planet Namek. He would not have done anything with it. It would have been a terrible choice, and he would have been probably, I don't know, been locked away for the rest of his existence in some form of solitude or something, where Frieza would have made sure that Vegeta could not strike back. And if we want to talk about Frieza, if Frieza became immortal, everything would have gone to shit. Because, like, again, he was not that much stronger, or Goku was not that much stronger than Frieza. And Frieza, all he had to do was just tire Goku out to the point where, his power dropped, and then he could have wiped him out. And then that would have been a huge problem for the rest of the universe. Well, of course, Beerus would probably just woken up 39 years later and then killed him anyways. And that's, can technically a god destroy an immortal character? That's actually a good question right there. Because the question I still want to know is what happens if a character gets completely, an immortal character gets completely disintegrated? Like when, like say an ultimate spirit bomb gets thrown at Frieza and just completely disintegrates his body. How does he come back from that? Do you just like poof out of inexistence again, or what? That's kind of a question that I can't answer myself, and I'm sure you guys have your own theories, but none of us can really answer it because it's like we don't know what happens there. I assume because you're immortal, like Shenron immortal, you would just poof out of inexistence. But you know, we do know if a little piece of body was to like survive, you know, that piece of cell would essentially regenerate the entire body just like with Cell. So that's what I think would happen with that. But as far as completely being disintegrated, I don't really know. What do you guys think? Actually, you can have your own theories about that. What would happen if a character gets completely disintegrated who's immortal? Do they come back? Let me know in the comments below. Now, before I end this video, I do want to discuss one last thing, and that's Garlic Jr. Again, he's not a canon character, he's just a filler character. But we do know that the only way that Garlic could be defeated was by getting thrown into the dead zone, where he was basically isolated for the rest of his existence. And it did not kill him; it just basically trapped him in there in isolation, where he could not escape. Escape or do anything. But the question is what would have happened with Garlic Jr. if he would have been disintegrated? That's wow. It's funny when I do these debates sometimes I say stuff and I think about it like, you know what? That's a really good question. Now I need to go research this. So if you guys have your own theories about how an immortal character would come back, would you just poof back or what? Let me know in the comment section below as well. But that just about wraps up everything what I want to discuss in terms of how immortality would have affected the outcome on Planet Namek. Again, just to summarize it, if Vegeta became immortal, he would have been screwed. He would have been stuck, basically getting tortured unless he managed to escape and come back stronger later, which I doubt Frieza will let him do. But he would have basically been screwed for the rest of his existence, which is forever. But in terms of Frieza, had he become immortal, there would have been shit to pay. Like, the whole universe would have fallen apart because of that. At least until Beerus came back, in which case he would have probably just done the same thing, just imprisoned. Yeah, that's what probably would happen. Beerus and Whis would have probably just imprisoned Frieza if he was immortal, because I feel like, you know, Beerus would not like that in the first place, and he already did not like Frieza. If you've seen the Battle of Gods movie, he did not like Frieza and planned on actually killing Frieza after waking up. But of course, Goku had done that, and that's how the whole Battle of Gods movie started and stuff and whatever. So yeah, so that makes that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to punch that like button right in the face, and be sure to participate. If you have any feedback, comments, or opinions, or anything, add it to the comment section below, and we will do a fun Dragon Ball Z discussion like we do every weekend. So yeah. My name is Rhymestyle. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see all you awesome Super Saiyans in the comment section below. Peace.